Hello punters and welcome to Saturday Racing Preview, and of course in this video I'm looking at the Railway Stakes meeting, Group 1 race at Ascot. It's a terrific meeting, really looking forward to getting stuck into it. This is going to be a much quicker video than what the other ones are because some of the races I'm not overly keen on having a go in, so I'm just going to breeze through a few of them, and a few of them have got a couple of small fields in them, so we'll get through them nice and quickly. If you haven't already done so, go check out my the Gong meeting at Kembla Grange. You can check that one out, and also my Ballarat Cup preview if you're keen on having a go there. Go check me out on social media as well for all these tips, as well as I do daily tips, so Saturday, Sunday. Usually I like to take Monday or Tuesday off, but then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I usually post some tips there as well. So if you want to check out more of me, go follow me on the social medias. I've got _racing tips on Instagram and C-Lane Race Tips on Facebook. So go and check those out if you want to be seeing more of me. If you are new here, obviously in these videos I go through each race, particularly sort of the feature races. Obviously we've got the WA Racing Carnival on at the moment, so I'm doing this extra video, but I do always do a feature meeting at New South Wales and Victoria, and then obviously, like I said, just these additional ones when they have their carnivals. So if you do like these, and I'll go through each race and sort of look through the chances and provide top four selections, please subscribe down below. Really appreciate all of you that did subscribe throughout the spring, and those of you that have already done so for some time now and have been regular viewers of my videos on here. So I really appreciate that. So like the video as well, I'd really appreciate that, and comment of your thoughts down below, who you back in the railway and who you're backing throughout this program as well. And also you can ask any questions, any feedback, whatever you like, you can go for it down below in the comments. I will try and respond to all of them. So without any further ado, we're going to get straight in the program. It is quite late, so sorry for getting these videos out a little bit late, but hopefully you can get onto them and watch them before tomorrow. So race number 1 on the program tomorrow at Ascot, 3 o'clock start, so plenty of time to get on. Benchmark 72 race, so only the 6 horses to kick us off in the opening race of the program. I think Carapano and Boomtastic will be the ones that will lead them up, with Don't Fuss and Long Beach not too far behind, and Nick Ovey and Megazone are probably the two that will be in the back pairs of the race. Look, Long Beach looks really hard to beat here in the opening race. $1.90, don't love the price, but I thought it was a really good run behind Elite Street last time out, and faces a lot of these horses once again, and seem to have their measure pretty comfortably. The weights aren't too dissimilar, so I think that Long Beach will be running a good race once again and be really hard to beat. So it goes on top for me, but the clear danger for me is number 4, Nick Ovey, who doesn't come out of the Elite Street form. In fact, it did run behind Elite Street and Boomtastic 2 starts back, but since had a run since then, which was back on the 31st of October, and was beaten as a favourite there. Was pretty average in that performance there over the 1200 metres, but I think that third up here with a bit more fitness, and we should see this horse run a much better race here. So it goes for second. In the third, number 5, Boomtastic, who, like I did say, did beat Nick Ovey last time out, and finished 5th to Elite Street last time out, and Long Beach. So I could see it running well enough again. And then in for 4th, I've got number 1, sorry, Caracapo, who I think could run well enough second up, but I can't really see it winning, but I do think this horse could be somewhere around the finish second up here. So recap the numbers for me. Look, I do think Long Beach will be hard to beat in the opening race of the program at Ascot. In for second, number 4, Nicovi. In for third, number 5, Boomtastic. Then in for fourth, number 1, Caracapo. Moving on to race number 2 now, we've got the Mum Champagne Crystal Slipper over the 1100 metres, and it's for a lot of the debutantes. Look, really hard race. This one, obviously, a lot of these debut on debut. Lyra, obviously, is a horse that ran pretty good on debut and was beaten at a $2.80 favourite, but I thought it was a decent enough run there. Probably is the one to beat. But in terms of the debutants, I do think that number 10, Astrape off barrier number 2, can run well. Didn't mind its trial, wasn't really asked to do a lot, and I think that it was a really pretty expensive buy. I mean, in terms of modern horse racing markets, 210,000 isn't extremely expensive, but it's pretty good price. And I think this horse has got pretty good breeding, obviously being a daughter of Snitzel and out of Amana. I think we could run a good race first up here. It was really green in its trial, which is the only little concern that I've got about this horse, and might just need the run, but at $8.50 it's got to be given a chance. And obviously William Pike's horse as well, Amelia's in Picante, has trialled up pretty good leading to this, so could run well first up. But look, nothing really, I wasn't really keen too much here, but if I was to go with numbers, I'd go number 5, Lyra on top, with that race experience. Number 9, Amelia's Picante as the best of the debutants for the second. For third, number 10, a Strape, and then for fourth, I'll probably throw in number 11, Flying Missile, just because it has that inside barrier. Move on to race number 3 on the program now. Benchmark 72 over the 2,200 metres. And look at the speed map here. It's just that we'll see Come Right Back and Summer Sky be the two leaders here. I can't really see too many others pressing on for the speed. Perhaps a Red Hot Tip and a Dorman won't be too far away with Maserati and Push to Pass probably will be around midfield. Really good race this one, and obviously over the 2,200 metres. Midnight Blue is the favourite, and I do think it's going to be pretty hard to beat William Pike in the saddle, and it was really impressive winning last time out over the 800 metres, but it beat a Dorman who it faces here again. But I think the stepping out in 2,000 metres is going to suit this horse perfectly. Has won fourth up before, so it's rock hard fit now. Gets out in trip. Think it's going to be pretty hard to beat, so it goes on top for me. But I do think Come Right Back will give it something to chase out in the speed. Has been pretty good its last few starts and hasn't really runs a bad race. I mean, this horse has only missed a top 3 finish once in its 11 start career, so I think it'll be right there for a very long way at the $4. So it goes in for second. In for third, number 7, the stablemate to Midnight Blue in Adornment. I think it's going to be given a good mention at the if a third, obviously $7.50, and it has did finish second last start at Midnight Blue. And while I do think Midnight Blue will obviously be probably better improved over the trip, but I do think Adornment with that coming down a kilo from that run last time out should go close again at the $7.50. But a good each way price if you want to look at something a bit of odds. Number 10, Great Waters. I love how this horse has been running last couple of starts, particularly its last start performance was won by 3.3 lengths over 800 metres at Ascot here. Steps out to the 2,000 metres, which it has stepped out here to 2,150 before and did win. So I'm not too concerned about stepping out of 2,000 here, and I think this horse can run a good race at the $14. Good each way chance in for fourth. Other chances of the race, I do think Red Hot Tip could run well here, fourth up as well. Has got plenty of fitness on its side, and I think we'll really appreciate getting out to 2,000 metres as well as has a good record at the trip. But recapping the numbers for me, look, I've gone number 4, Midnight Blue. Just looks very progressive, and I think it will improve and run well once again after its last start win. So in for second, number 6, Come Right Back. In for third, number 7, Adornment. And in for fourth, number 10, Great Waters. And like I said, Red Hot Tip's probably another good each way roughy chance. I opened up at 35s and is now 11, so it has some really good spec. Number 3, Red Hot Tip. Moving on to race number 4 now. We've got the Placid Arc Stakes over the 1,200 metres, and 8 horses go around this race here. I suggest that we'll see Charlton Eddy and Acromat Mantula find the top. They'll be the two main speed factors here. I think Timescale and Chanto Talk will probably be towards the speed as well. But I do think Charlton Eddy is going to be my top selection here. I think this horse has got a really good chance here. He was narrowly beaten by Chanto Talk, is the favourite here last time out. Look at the weights from last time. Charlton Eddy comes down a kilo, while Chanto Talk also comes down a kilo and a half, actually. So they both come down in the weights, and actually it favours Chanto Talk a little bit more. But I just think that Charlton Eddy might be able to show that a little bit more improvement here from the 1,000 metres up to the 1,200, where I do think that Chanto Talk was probably better on the fresher side. That's just my sort of thoughts on it. I do think that Charlton Eddy will run well here. Third up here, rock hard fit now, and be running a good race. But obviously the main danger is the favourite, Chanto Talk, will be right there in the finish as well. I'll be just probably stalking just in behind Charlton Eddy, and if it can peel off the back, it should be getting close. Number 2, Acromantula has got to be given a good mention. Obviously, it was a really good winner first up on debut at Ascot on the soft track over 1,000 metres here. Interested to see what this horse can do second up in its second race start. Then in for third, I've got number 5, Mystical View with Pike in the saddle. Obviously, forgive last start performance on a heavy surface, coming back on top of the ground. That wasn't a really strong race as well. That was the fillies, champion fillies, and that was last week. So 7-day backup for this horse. Could see it bounce back into form at $6.50. They're the main chances for me. I couldn't really make a case to any others. Like Queen Brown probably could be given a bit of a chance as well. Has contested some decent races its last couple of starts, and obviously coming back on top of the ground, we could see some good improvement out of it. But recap the numbers for me. I've gone with number 1, Charlton Eddy on top, ahead of number 4, Chanto Talk for second. In for third, I've got number 2, Acromantula, and then in for fourth, number 5, Mystical View. Moving on to race number 5 in the program now. Benchmark 66 plus over 1,400 metres here, and look at the speed map. I suggest we'll see Butterly Lad and Sophie Song lead them up, and I think Ocean's 15 probably won't be too far away, and Sweet Dreamer probably look to settle just in behind them, but not a whole lot of pace in this race here. And as such, some of the more fancy runners, they'll be back in the field. They're going to have to be sort of really switched on to try and catch it up to these leaders. And one of those is number 3, Bogart, who I think has got a good chance here. I really think this horse is getting closer to a win. It's had a couple of really good runs this preparation, a fourth and 2 seconds in its last two starts. Fourth up here, rock hard fit. I think that this horse will really appreciate coming back to the 1400 metres from the 1800 last start. Obviously, it's a really interesting move. I mean, this is a horse that could really sort of do, you know, could have potentially progressed on further. We saw last preparation we got out to 2,000 metres even. So interesting to bring it back in distance here. But I just think of the $7 is worth a bit of an each way spec. Number 8, Tiffer Spoken was really good first up, finishing second at Ascot over 400 metres. I like that run there. Second up, we should see plenty of improvement out of it. In for third, number 12, Western Empire, who's still a maiden, but comes in this as a strong 2.40 favourite. Was excellent last time out behind Calarua when finishing second. The that form's pretty good. Colorado's going around in a stronger race later on, so can give plenty of merit to that performance. And William Pike in the saddle, just think 240 is just that fraction short, but plenty of respect goes with it as well. In for fourth, I've got number 4, Phone Me, who has hit some good form last two starts with 2 wins and could definitely go on with it again. But recapping the numbers for me, I have gone with number 3, Bogart on top, ahead of number 8, Tiff Spoken in for second. In for third, number 12, Western Empire. Then in for fourth, I've gone number 4, Phone Me. Move on to the race number 6 now. It is the WA Guineas over the 600 metres, and really interesting race, this one. Western Empire is also lined up in this one, so keep an eye on that to see where it goes whether it goes into the Guineas or races in the one prior as a 12.40 favourite. That'll be interesting to wait and see. But recap, look at the speed map for the Guineas. I do suggest that Fanta and Gemma's Son will probably look to lead. Smashing from an outside barrier usually likes to roll forward, so it'll probably put a bit of pace in the race. Pants down off barrier number 2 will be prominent, and First Law won't be too far away either, I wouldn't think. Look, I'm keen to go number 9, First Law here at the $15. I think it's got a really, I think it's the one to beat for me. Comes out of that Calaroo and Western Empire race from last time out, but I think it's all been showing it's plenty of improvement. It will really appreciate the mile. And I think the third up here with some of that fitness under its belt, we're going to see plenty of improvement and enough to see it win the Guineas here. So it goes on top for me at the $15. Ahead of number 3, Dom to Shoot, who obviously went around as a favourite last time out, was well beaten that Calaroo and Western Empire race, but was only 1.4 lengths behind them, so did finish 7th, but wasn't all that far off them, and obviously was respected going to that race at the $2.50, so got to be giving it a chance here again. Obviously, the form prior was really strong. So if it can return, sort of bounce back off that last start performance, it could be running well enough here at the 550. In for third, well, I mean, look, Calaroo, you can't really understand how it's $19 when it obviously beat a lot of these home last time out. Obviously, the big jump in weight goes up 2.5 kilos, obviously doesn't help, but I don't think it should be enough to see it finishing as a $19 shot, sort of around midfield. I think it's got a better chance than that, so it goes in for third for me. And then in fourth, I've got number 7 in Western Empire if it goes into this race. But if it doesn't, I'll be going number 14, Brave Angel, who I think is really building towards running a good race here. Ran over the mile last time out behind Watch Me Dance on a heavy track. Was really impressed with that run. Coming back on top of the ground, I think this horse can bounce back and run a good race again. So it's the big danger for me. Magical Dreams, another one who I am interested in as well. Obviously, comes out of that same heavy track performance last time out. Comes back on top of the ground where it's got 2 starts for 2 wins on a good surface. So perhaps coming back onto a firmer track off its running on 2 rain-affected tracks on its last 2 starts. We'll see it run a really good race here. And I really like the run 2 starts back on the 400 metres behind Kisses. Kiss on All Four Cheeks and Snickle Doodle Daddy. They were very long names, those ones. But I like that run there. And if it can just sort of improve back to that type of run and up to the mile, could run a really good race here at the $8. So it's the big danger. But recap the numbers for me. I have gone with number 9, First Law, on top of the $15 to win the Guineas. Ahead of number 2, Dom to Shoot for second. In the third, I've gone with number 4, Calaroo. In for fourth, I've gone with number 7 in Western Empire. But if it doesn't get the run, I'm going to go with number 14, Brave Angel. Now, I have left Gemma's Son out of my numbers. Obviously, obviously ran in Group One company. Sorry, not Group One company, Group Two company last time out. Behind KC, Red Cam Man to go around the railways, some pretty strong chances. But and also prior to that though, it finished fourth to Magical Dream. So it's $5.50, but Magical Dream did beat at home last time and finds itself at $8. So I'm just, and while this horse looks to be getting better the further out it goes, I'm just not sure about the 550, and especially barrier number 13. Bit of a tricky gate there as well. Could be posted wide on the speed. So it's just a couple of little queries for me as to why I couldn't go the $5.50 personally. Moving on to race number 7 on the program now, we've got the Crown Jungle Mister Classic over 1,200 metres, and 13 horses go around this race here. It's just a Flower of War, and Lonsdale Lady will probably find the speed with Flower of Scotland and Tycoon Storm. I expect them to roll up from the inside barriers, and Special Choice won't be too far away either. But I do think the Flower of Love should be hard to beat. Sorry, Flower of War. But I have gone against it. I've just gone with that little bit of value, and I've gone number 9, Rationale, coming into this first up here off a bit of a spell. I just think that this horse can run well. Fresh here. It's had 5 starts in his career, 4 wins. So I just think that at the $7.50, really has to be given a good chance here. I like this little quiet trial at Lark Hill. Doesn't really ask to do a lot just to get through its gears, and I thought that I just think that this horse can really bolt in with a big run first up here. So it goes on top for me, ahead of number 7, Special Choice, who should get a perfect running behind the speed from barrier number 4, and should be right in the finish at $7.50. It's over the odds. Number 1, Flower of War, who, like I said, is going to be in weak company here, and steps out in trip, which is going to really appreciate. It's had 5 starts at the track and distance on 4 wins and a second, so I fully expect this horse to run really well, especially considering it looks to dictate the tempo of the race. So it should give him something to catch down, to run down at the $3. So it goes in for second. Then for third, I've got number 8, Tycoon Storm, at the $4.50, who's really hit some good form and really runs a bad race. So it's a decent chance to be right in the finish once again. So it goes in for fourth. As for a big sort of roughy play in the race, so I do think that um, Lonsdale Lady could run well enough here third up and bounce back off its last start performance. And obviously, 2 runs back when it won over the 400 metres on a soft track at Belmont. Really good performance there. Then it went on to a firm track over the mile and just okay. I mean, look, didn't really run too well. It was 6 lengths behind, but I can forgive that performance and suggest it could bounce back and run well third up. It has got to win third up. So if there is a roughie in the race, I think it could be the potential the one. But look, I've really narrowed this race down to the ones that the market quite likes as well. But I've got number 9, Rationale, on top. I just think it's got a real good chance first up at the 750. I have number 1, Flower of War, in for second. In for third. In for second, I've got number 7, Special Choice. In for third, number 1, Flower of War. Then in for fourth, number 8, Tycoon Storm. Moving on to the feature race of the day, the Railway Stakes Group 1 level over 1,600 metres. Look at the speed map here. There's 20 horses currently lined up in the field, but it will obviously come down. Red Can Man, I think, will lead them up with 2 Close the Sun, Go Chop and Dance Music from the 2 outside barriers. I suggest they'll roll forward and be somewhere towards the speed. And Great Shot will also be right up there as well, I'd suggest. But look, I'm really keen to go Red Can Man here. I think this horse has got a terrific chance to win this race. He was really good last time out behind KC, finishing second there. In that race, he gets the big weight swing. He carried 59 kilos there. He only has to carry 53.5 for this one, whereas KC goes 57 down to 56. So, I mean, that's a weight swing of, 4.5 kilos in the favour of Red Can Man. So at $8.50, I've really got to give him a good chance, and looks got a really good run in the race up on the speed there. So he goes in on top for me. And have number 11, Inspirational Girl, in for second, who really, I mean, has been terrific so far in her career. She's had 10 starts for 8 wins and 2 placings. Really hard to go against her. Obviously, Pike gets the ride, and he obviously came back, missed out on a McKinnon Stakes victory on Acadia Queen to get back to WA, and he was keen to ride in the railway, and I think it was because he was very keen to ride this girl who looks a real talent, and I'm keen to see, she probably will be the horse to be coming over here in the spring next year. We saw obviously the Grand Alana team with the Bob Peters colours, the Cerise and White, come down here to Victoria and really perform well with their horses, and I think this could be one that we could be seeing this time next year again in Victoria. So it goes in for second. In for third, number 4, KC. I absolutely love this mare. She's terrific. Obviously won this. She win this race. She won the Kingston Town last year, which is a really good horse and was really good bouncing back to form last time out when winning. I just think that with that big weight swing, Red Cam Man will get the better of her this time round. But third up into this, she should be running well, and she goes in for third. In for fourth, number one, Kementari. Look, I really love the way he ran home last time out. He's got that inside barrier, which is a bit of a concern, but I love the way he hit the line, and I think stepping out to the 600 metres is going to suit him really perfectly, and we could see a big race from him. Definitely couldn't go to win because he has been one of those frustrating ones for punters, but I suggest he'll be running a good race at the $12. As for chances outside of those, sort of a bigger odds, do you think number seven, Great Shot at $67? I think he could lead for a long way here. He obviously won this race back in 2018, and he ran a couple of times sort of in Victoria. He's since returning back to WA hasn't been terrific, but I do think that he obviously finished eighth. He was beaten 3.2 lengths by KC and Red Cam Man last start. He had to carry 59 on that occasion. He carries 54 for this race here, so he gets a good drop in weight, 5 kilos in fact. And I think that could suit him nicely to see him run a better race than his price suggests he will. And the other one I didn't mind, Too Close the Sun. Look, now I left this horse out, but I like this horse's win last time out on a heavy surface. Comes back onto a firm track, finished second, two starts back to Inspirational Girl, who obviously is the favourite here, so you got to be giving it some good consideration to run well. And truly great, obviously, he's hit some terrific form and shouldn't be discounted either. I think this horse has got a good chance as well for the Grant and Alana Williams team with Clint Johnson Porter in the saddle at the $13. Definitely a big danger as well. But look, I'm very keen with number 8, Red Cam Man on top. I think it's the one to beat with that big weight swing on KC. So he goes on top for me. Have number 11, Inspirational Girl, who I'm really petrified about him for second. If a third, number 4, KC, then if a fourth, number 1, Kementari. Moving on to race number 8, 9 on the program now, and we've got the Carbine Club WA Stakes to finish off the program over the 1400 metres. And look at the speed map here. I think we'll see Lavarod lead them up with Son of Bacchus. I don't really see too many others taking on the speed. Maybe Flow and Serenity Bay might roll forward, but I don't think they'll be taking it on the speed as such. I do think Lavarod will be hard to beat, and he's probably one of the best bets of the program here for me. Obviously, was ninth in that KC Red Cam Man race last start. This obviously is a massive step back in grade for him, and I think he'll be running well and bouncing back into form and be winning this purely and simply at the $3.10. He's one to beat for me, so he goes on top. And number 13, Serenity Bay, who I do think has got a good chance first up here. Showed last preparations, got plenty of ability. It's a horse that has a 12 race starts for 5 wins and 7 placings, so he has not missed a top 3 finish yet to date. So $10 and $3.30 to he's a very good each way chance first up here. So he goes on in for second. In for third, I've got number 12, Festival Miss, with obviously Pike in the saddle. She was disappointing first up over the 1200 metres behind Lavarod Celebrity Queen. I don't think that she'll be able to turn the tables on Lavarod here, but I think she'll run a better race second up, and with Pike in the saddle, she goes in for third. And then for fourth, I've got number 8, Pimps Royale, who has been pretty good his last couple of starts as well. Obviously fifth last time out at Northern behind Dance Music and Flow, and the second prior that Kalgoorlie to Money Matters. So this is obviously a bit of a different scenery if the horse comes into town, but it has been in good enough form to suggest can run a good race. Other chance of the race, look, Flow obviously has been knocking on the door last couple of starts, been really good. The second, a truly great last start. And a second to Dance Music at the start prior to Northern over the mile. Suggests this horse can run well enough. And Nerf Boss, obviously the former Hayes Davinick runner, is now with Neil Parnham and could run a bit of a cheeky race. Interesting with this horse, obviously, was stepped out over trip. It's been kept sort of down at these sort of 1,1500 metre trips, and interesting to see how it can go here, third up in WA. But recap the numbers for me, very keen on number 9, Lavarod. He's probably my best bet of the program. He goes on top for me, head of number 13, Serenity Bay, who I probably will have something probably small on the win, bigger on the place, so because obviously the horse has never missed a place in his career, and I think the $10 is a bit over the odds. If a third, number 12, Festival Miss, then if a fourth, number 8, Pims Royale. Now, recapping the best bets and best value bets of the program. So look, best bet of the program is obviously going to come in the last race. It's race number 9. It's number 9 Lavarod. I think he's going to be extremely hard to beat. So he's my best bet of the program at the $3.10. Race 9, number 9 Lavarod. My second best bet is going to come in the Railway Stakes. I'm very keen on Red Cam Man. I could have easily made him a best value bet, but I'm going to make him one of my best bets of the program because I really do think he's going to be hard to beat in this, and I think he's going to take out the Railway at the $8.50. So he's my second best bet of the program. Best value bets of the meeting: race 7, number 9, Rationality, the 750. Just think it's a really good each way chance at the 750. So that's race 7, and it is number 9, Rationality, as one of my best value bets of the program. The other one that I really did like comes in the WA Guineas, and it is, of course, number 9, First Law, at the $15. Good each way price. So all my best bets and best value bets come in the quaddy leagues of the program. I do think that's where I'm really keen to have a play on in the feature races. So if you have watched this video, I really do appreciate it. Obviously, go check out my the Gong and at Kembla Grange and the Ballarat Cup preview meeting as well. If you want to go check those ones out, please do so. Obviously, go and subscribe on this video, on this channel, if you want to see more of these type of videos and the content over the coming weeks. And then obviously furthermore into Magic Millions in the summer and the autumn racing carnival, which we're really looking forward to getting into. We're not all that far away from it. Very exciting. I mean, the really great race in Black Caviar Lightning Stakes is in February, so we're not all that far away from it. So I'll be having a bit of a spell over the Christmas, but then I'll be getting started again just in January for the Magic Millions and probably continuing on from there. So really looking forward to that. Obviously, like I said, go check me out on social media as well. CLA_racing tips on Instagram and CLA Racing Tips on Facebook for more of these tips, as well as daily tips as well on other race tracks, both Victoria and New South Wales generally, but mainly Victoria. I usually post whatever the sort of main racing is there per day. So thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Obviously, like and comment on the video. Any of your thoughts on the racing tomorrow. Really appreciate it if you've watched this through the entirety. Have a great day tomorrow, and hope you find plenty of winners at Ascot tomorrow.